Hello and welcome to our Sanlam Benchmark 2024 podcast. My name is Ulitilo Ramashala and I have the privilege of being your host today. And on our topic, accelerating a better working South Africa. Today we'll be speaking to one of our industry giants from Gradage, Mahura Investments, Lesego Mpete. Lesego, a warm welcome and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Lesego, you would have heard Mr. Nzwa Shoni was speaking at our benchmark on, touching on the trust crisis in South Africa. And I think that's quite important on how some of the research shows that people are quite worried about not having enough savings towards their retirement and, not being able to pay towards their day-to-day expenses and medical costs, etc. And that touches on a very important topic, which is financial inclusion. Now, what does financial inclusion mean to you and your clients?
So for me and my clients, financial inclusion is basically being able to provide the necessities. South Africans are finding themselves in a very difficult position where they're having to make difficult choices when it comes to their finances and their day-to-day living expenses. I mean, you have people working harder on their budgets, but we're being squeezed from all angles. So financial inclusion for me is just finding solutions for clients that enable them to make financial decisions that will benefit them as well as their families. So that's critical for them when it comes to being included in the financial services sector.
Now, you said a very powerful word around being squeezed, and that is the sad reality, right? So what do you see as the main barriers to achieving financial inclusion for your clients, and how can this be addressed?
I think for me, if we have to take it back to basics, explaining financial literacy to members. There's so much going on in our industry at the moment, and this is coming on the back of information that members didn't even understand to begin with. So a lot of education still needs to be done around breaking the barriers of entry for our members. Something as simple as how does credit work? How does interest work? If people understand that, then they're better able to structure if they do have credit, because it's a reality. People are taking accounts to try and meet their day-to-day needs. So just explaining those kind of things, simple things like compound interest on investing 100 Rand. Oftentimes I find members, if I talk about savings, they tell you, I don't have 1,000 Rand. And I'm like, that's not even where you need to start. Let's just start with something simple, something basic. How much do you have? So those kind of barriers are informed by the fact that people aren't given information. It's not readily available. Also, language barriers. Translating a document into a specific language doesn't necessarily mean the person will understand what they're reading. Oftentimes I find with our clients what works best is telling stories.
Yes.
So storytelling is a way of informing people and making sure they understand how better to work with the finances that they have.
Now, that's something so powerful. Storytelling is important. What do you believe brokers should play? What do you believe the role that brokers should play in advancing financial inclusion, and how can they collaborate with benefits providers to achieve this goal?
I think we need to be a little bit more flexible in our approach. Oftentimes, as a big institution, you'll have a communication strategy, which is great. It helps you to plan, it helps you to have a process to follow, but you need the flexibility to adjust to the crowd that you're talking to.
That's true.
Where are you? What is important? If we're talking infrastructure investment and trustees have to go and give feedback to their members, what is happening in that community that you can demonstrate what you're trying to communicate? So you need to be flexible as brokers and as advisors. That's where we really need to work together, as well as with institutions where we are able to tailor make the communication to the members. Because once you've done that and people can actually relate to what you're saying, then you'll have the outcomes that you're looking for.
I love that. Thank you so much. So what I'm hearing is tailor-make the communication, make it simple and understandable as well as relatable through the power of storytelling.
Yes.
And also in a language that is, of comfort to the members.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Lesego. It was truly an honor to have you on.
Thank you for having me.